Hello everyone, I'm Raki Rupani, Communications Coordinator for BNI here in the UAE. And today the member whom we have on our DNA Spotlight is Diksha Vohra. Now Diksha has been a member of the Continental Chapter and she's been a member for slightly over 2 years. And recently she's also become the ambassador for a very new chapter, which is BNI United Data Online Chapter. So let's get talking to her and hear more about her journey here in BNI. Hello, Diksha. How are you today?
Hi, Rakhi. I am very well. How are you doing?
I'm good and I'm excited to have you here with us today.
I'm much more excited actually to be here in the DNA Spotlight. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Absolutely. It's excited to see you. You're a new ambassador for our chapter, which is the BNI United online chapter for our data region. And before we get started with the questions, we want to get the audience to know you a little bit more better. So tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of your journey. How did you begin BNI, and a little bit about your journey in general.
So, I have pretty much been born and raised in Dubai. I'm a Nido kid, as people call. So, Dubai journey was always beautiful. And then I studied here. I went to New Zealand to do my bachelor's degree. I've done my bachelor's in film, TV, and media studies. I worked there for some time, came to Dubai, and then I started working as a journalist in a couple of luxury lifestyle magazines. I then went on to the UK to pursue my master's in Cardiff University, and I am, in fact, a BBC trained journalist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very few people know that about me. So, so once I finished that, that's when I decided to start my business, and I got full-fledged into content writing, and I thought, okay, let's see what happens. And I started this in September 2018. And on the September 16th this year, we are celebrating our third anniversary. So, yeah, and we are a full time team of 9 people, and we're fully into like content creations on all platforms, all digital platforms. So that's how the business journey has been, and it's been really good, really beautiful. My BNI journey actually started 2.5 years ago, to be very precise. March 2019, I had attended BNI Evergreen, and just because it was too far from my location, so I decided to come to Continental because it's a little closer to home. And Continental instantly kind of attracted me, and I was like, that's it, I don't need to look elsewhere. So I visited the chapter in the first time itself. I decided to fill up the form and become a member. Technically, actually, Rakhi, I have grown with BNI. So I have an exciting secret to share. When I started my company, we were 2 people. I recruited my staff through BNI. I did all my VAT registrations through BNI. I bought an office through BNI. I had a good business coach from BNI. So basically, my business is a fully BNI product. It is nothing else. So I think with BNI, with the chapter itself, I have grown and leaps and bounds. My business has grown, and so BNI has pretty much been a blessing in disguise. Yeah, when I entered, I did not know what it would hold. And I was like, okay, let's just go, let's network. I like to socialize with people. I'm a people's person. But then seeing that how beautifully it's translated into business, I think that's just the best thing of BNI.
That's an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And it's excellent to see how BNI has shaped up your business from the starting bit to now. Tell us a little bit more about your membership with the Continental Chapter. So you've been there, like you rightly mentioned, about close to 2.5 years. Any particular roles that you have taken within the chapter? Anything that you would like to share with us?
So I started with the visitor host role 6 months into my journey in Continental. And then March 2020, I was appointed as the ST. And as a secretary treasurer, I took on till September. And last October, I was appointed as the president.
Wow.
And so I served as a president as well. And that was one beautiful journey. I mean, I would always remember presidency more than anything else in my life. So, and now currently I'm serving as the lead visitor host for BNI Continental. The roles have actually been very, how do I say, rewarding. You know, when you take up roles, you think that you're doing this for BNI, you're doing this for the chapter. But little do you realize that it's actually you're doing a favor to yourself. The amount of visibility, the amount of credibility, etc., you generate through taking up roles you don't do otherwise as regular members. So, like I said, I'm a BNI product, so I love to give back to the chapter as much as possible and to the BNI fraternity. So yeah, I have had an amazing time serving in all the different roles in Continental. And I'm also appointed as the lead visitor host for next term. So I'm looking forward to that too.
That's amazing. It goes very well with your personality because you like to talk to people. And I would term you as a social butterfly. It's an amazing role you've again selected for yourself in your chapter. But let's go a little bit deeper into your new role, which is the ambassador for the BNI United Data Online.
And that doesn't let me talk. Just telling you.
That doesn't let you talk. That makes you listen.
That's fun sitting and mentoring. Yes.
So that's just been what, 2 months now? You've just become an ambassador recently. So what inspired you to take this role with the chapter?
So it so happened that Pankaj one morning called me and said, Diksha, you know what? Let's just meet. And I was like, oh, why does he want to meet? I'm like, is there something? Do you need some work? What's it about? He's like, just in order to celebrate, I just want to see you. I'm like, okay, fine. You know, let's just go and let's see. And then I go there, and then Pankaj starts talking, and he talks about United, and I'm like, acha, okay, you know, what's going on? And then he says that Diksha, you know, I want you to become the ambassador. And I had no reluctance or hesitation. My question majorly to Pankaj was that how is the ambassador going to be contributing to the overall growth to this chapter? Because see, usually, at least in the past, before we transformed into this this new version 2.0 that we're living in now, ambassadors had a very restricted role. They were very much only involved with new members joining, and they would ensure that the mentoring is taken place and so on, all the boxes are ticked, and that's pretty much it. But and I personally used to feel that ambassador role should be a little bit more than that, because if a new member comes, even understanding in say 3 to 6 or 9 months, is there any challenge that you're facing? Is there something I can do to help you? Are there other possibilities we can look at in terms of helping you do better? So that would actually help a lot with the member retention over the long run, because the director consultant because he is looking at the overall chapter. He has the full responsibility to take the chapter to different heights and ensure that everyone benefits. And then of course we have these new members, so who kind of somewhere or the other needs that initial hand holding, rather a lot of hand holding, especially now that we have transitioned into a new phase. So Pankaj was super keen. He said, yeah, that's a brilliant idea. And I was like, okay, as long as we're able to contribute a lot more. The ambassadorship is not just about sitting and just ticking off the boxes and signing off the mentoring. It's a little more than that. I was like, okay, I'm completely in for it. And also United, I think, is very revolutionary in itself. I love the concept of a completely online chapter, because we are the first in the world to have had a permanently online chapter, not going into physical meetings. And also we start a little later than the usual timing. So I just wanted to be a part of this beautiful concept and see how, it unfolds. So United will create history, or rather it has created history in itself. So I'm glad to be a part of the history that it's created.
That's amazing, Diksha. Thank you for sharing that with us. I know it's just been over 2 months. Any learnings or anything, any memories that you would like to share with us of the United chapter?
I'll tell you what, Raki. United it came off as a surprise because when ambassadors usually get appointed to existing chapters, it's like they have 2 or 3 new members to work with. We have 27 new members to work with. All of them getting to know. So firstly, we are new into the roles. Secondly, they are new into BNI. So it's a whole different game. We're holding their hands, telling them what needs to be done, and so on. I think that's been precisely what's kept us all busy, Amit and myself busy. Learnings, I think, first is that we shouldn't stop. I mean, there's always an alternative to things. We've gone online, we have a permanently online chapter, and so on. And previously people used to think that, oh, we need to meet in person and so on. We've realized that no, we can do business by simply meeting online, and we can continue meeting online, and things can even work. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that when you have a new chapter with a hell lot of new people, they all bring in so much fresh energy, and they have no baggage. So that previously it was this, now we're this. So it's a lot more easier somewhere to work with them, because they're all familiar to this concept and the process. Third thing that I would say is that in BNI, new members especially, and considering that in the we now in today's date have about 67% people who have never seen in-person meetings.
Yeah.
I think that there is a lot more need for emotional touch, being with them, keeping in touch, calling them, and so on, to encourage them and keep them motivated. So yeah, that is my third learning, that despite being online, we can still continue, nurture relationships, grow, help others grow ourselves as well.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you on that one. I'm sure you've already sat down with Pankaj and envisioned the goals and a lot of things that you have in mind for the United chapter. But can you share that with us? Any vision or anything that you have in your mind for the BNI United Thera online chapter? Where do you see it in the next, say, 12 months?
See, I see it becoming a gold chapter in the next 12 months. That is honestly where we want to take it right now. I know we're new, I know we're getting there, but that's where I want to see it. And I'd also want to see it doing a lot of business. All the members, it's not just the whole chapter does business, but all the members individually also grow in terms of their revenue, their learnings, and so on. They have an overall development. So basically each member doing something for themselves, and also the overall chapter generating much more business, much more referrals for each other. And of course, I want basically to, in the end, the whole idea is that people should be wanting to join an online chapter. They should be the whole concept that, oh my God, online is tiring, it is boring, this fatigue. That I want United to change. That people should go like, oh yes, you guys are successful, I think we'll launch another online chapter too. That's where I want to see United.
Absolutely, you have very sharp goals and vision for the chapter, and I truly admire that. Before we end the interview, just we want to also take some tips and advice, given that we are going to be transitioning very soon into the new leadership term. So any tips or advice you would like to share with any members who are willing to take any new roles, who are not very sure about it? What do you have to share with them in terms of your entire experience so far?
A couple of things. Number one, leadership transforms your life more than that of BNI. So as long as you take up the leadership role thinking that you are going to be benefiting out of it, I think you're on the right track. So keeping that in mind, take up the leadership roles, take up all the new roles that you like. Secondly, stick to the commitments, stick to what BNI asks for you. It sometimes may seem like, oh, it's come in the middle of my work, market has just opened, I need to focus more on that. But you know what? It's like BNI is like a farm. It's like fertile soil. So if you invest the kind of time in BNI, you will see many more trees rather growing in some time, rather than going out and pretty much trying to find contacts and so on. So give BNI, and you see BNI giving back to you in many ways. Support members, we are all here for each other, so let's all carry that sense of empathy and understanding, and try and find out what's the best way possible that we can help each other. Why, if you're a leader or you're a member, the idea needs to be givers gain. It's just like, listen, what can I do to help you? What can I do to help your situation get a bit better? So all of just, if you just keep focusing on that, you will be in a very good place. And when you finish your leadership term, you will learn how to communicate with a lot of people. And because BNI teaches you to deal with different people of different mindsets, right?
Yeah.
It is the only organization where you're getting put into a situation where you have like around 20, 25, or rather 35 people who have completely different minds of themselves. Handling them, talking to them, ensuring that all of you get together, it makes you a lot more mature and builds you as an individual. So good luck to your leadership roles, and as if there are new members, welcome aboard this beautiful journey.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. But we won't let you go that easily. I want to also share with the audience that you write a lot, not just for the work that you do, but also otherwise, your blogs, your poems, anything that you would like to elaborate on that with the audience out here.
I've been writing for a very long time. I've been writing poems. We call them shairis and stuff in Hindi. So I am a very artistic person that way. When I'm done with my work, I do sit with my harmonium and stuff, and I start writing. So yeah, writing is it's beautiful. I think it's a nice break from your regular life, and yeah, I love it.
I know I'm putting you on the spot out here, but any verse or anything that's your favorite that you would like to share with us?
My God,
something you can relate to, which is very like on top of your mind, and you would like to share with all of us.
There's one thing that I always keep saying. It says, बगैर बगा के फना का पता नहीं मिलता, मिटा दो खुद को भी तो खुदा नहीं मिलता, मांगने का जो तरीका है मांग लो, मेरे खुदा के दर पे बंदों को क्या क्या नहीं मिलता.
Oh my God, that
so it basically means that unless you call out, you don't know how big the sky is, unless you hear the echo. And then even if you kill yourself, sometimes you don't find God. And then it says, whichever way you want to ask, you just ask. My Lord can provide you everything in this universe. So yeah, and God's been very kind.
Totally amazing. Spot on, Diksha. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I truly appreciate that. And with that being said, thank you so much for being here with all of us and sharing your journey of BNI. And I wish you all the very best, not just with your Continental chapter, but also with BNI United Deva. All the
Thank
best.
you so much, Raki. Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure meeting you after a long time and doing this. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. Thank you.